All right, guys, I didn't think I'd be coming back on here this soon, but it's been crazy. So Marcus Smart, again, has been kind of the center of drama, but I guess this one would be kind of in a good way because his drama, he opened up his mouth and he talked some shit, basically calling out Jason and Jalen, our stars. Did you see a problem with that? Did I see a problem with that? Are they now on a 2-game win streak? Can they say that Marcus Smart saved this team? I don't know. But because of that, they got to talking. They aired out their issues. They had a players-only meeting, and they hashed out their bullshit. Now they're on a 2-game win streak. They held both teams to under 80 points, which is pretty impressive. So that means that there was actually defense to be played. And they beat, I guess the most notable out of the two is that they beat the Heat. And there was talks, okay, I get it. There's only been 9 games so far, maybe 10 if other teams have played like 1 game more than the Celtics so far this year. But there's only been 9 games that the Celtics have played this season. And they were trying to say that the Heat were the most notable and they were the best in the NBA right now. And the Celtics beat them. And the interesting part is that the Celtics they still have not won at home. So all of these wins, they're 4-5. All of these wins have been on the road. So that's kind of alarming to me. But again, it's also not a surprise to me because the Celtics are always better on the road. It's just notorious. It's statistically known that they're better on the road. So I'm not shocked. However, I will say when I was in the building for the Bulls game, and again, the Bulls are pretty much up there with the Heat and with competition. Same thing with the Hornets, which is so weird to be saying those names, by the way. Like, what are we, back in the fucking 80s or 90s? Like, the Hornets, the Bulls, since when were they ever, relevant? But these teams are now becoming teams that are someone to, look out for. And, the fact that we had a 19-point lead or whatever it was and we blew that lead at home is kind of, disappointing because you want to have the team, the home team to support you. You want the fans and the crowd to, have your back. And then when, you just let the game go off the rails and it gets out of hand and you don't play a full 48 minutes of basketball, that's where you see, everyone flipping out and pressing the panic button and, kind of getting down on our team saying, how can you blow this ridiculous lead? Well, that's what basketball is. It's a game of runs. And if you're not playing defense, you are not going to win a game. Sorry. I hate to be one of those typical coaches that are if you don't play defense, defense wins games. But it's true. If you could take a million threes, which the Celtics love to do, but if you aren't defending on the other end, you're not going to win a game. And that's kind of the issue that I've seen with the Celtics is that, as always, they're taking way too many threes. And I saw that in these last couple games, they've worked on being more selective. Again, the Tatum to Time Lord lobs every day. I will pay to see that. That is what they need to do. Go to the basket. So I will also publicly say one more time because it's relevant. I hated Al Horford when we first got him. I didn't think he was worth the max contract we originally signed him to when he was first a Celtic. And I've ate my words times 10 because when he came back this year, he came back with a fucking vengeance. He is phenomenal. He is literally the driving force to this team in consistency. And I say the word consistency because, did Jaylen Brown start off his opening night with 46 points, which was a career high and a season high, and it broke a couple records for the Celtics? Yeah, but do you see that consistency throughout? No. However, Al Horford, the old man that he is, the 35 years young. Old is kind of touchy for me because I'm turning 30. But the 35-year-old he is really making a case for himself that he's not to be fucked with. And he's actually doing a really good job, and he's that vet on the team, and they all respect him. And I'm very proud that he is on my team. And I think, you know, he's really trying to make a statement. And again, I apologize for not being an Al Horford fan when he first got here like 6 years ago. But now I'm really team Al Horford. So the thing that I guess was my main concern that we saw, okay, so here's what happened. They were on a traveling back-to-back, right? They're on a road trip. So they went from the Orlando Magic and they went straight to the Heat, right? So obviously the Heat was a huge fucking game. They're 5-1. Everyone's saying that they're the team to beat in the East or in the entire NBA, to be honest with you. And so what I've been saying for the first 8 games was that Ime, and I always want to say Brad because it's a habit to say Brad, but he is not our coach anymore. He is our GM. But I said, hey, Ime, like, you can't just play 7 guys and think that that energy from the tip-off is going to be the same when the buzzer ends, when the game is over. So kind of out of resources, he needed to play his bench. So he was it forced his hand because you're on a traveling back-to-back. You're not going to be able to use your starting 5 in the same capacity and in the same way you used them the night before because you're traveling. You have no time off. You're playing a back-to-back. They just played 48 minutes the night before. So you can't run them ragged 2 days in a row. Like, that's just fucked. So to much of Ime's dismay, he had to rely more heavily on his bench, which I feel he was shying away from the first 8 games. But look at what fucking happened. It was the best thing that ever happened to them because look, Neesmith stepped up, fucking Romeo Langford stepped up, even Masked PP stepped up. It's like they rose to the occasion. It's like next man up mentality, always be ready when your name is called. They were fucking ready. They made a statement. They proved a point. They said, listen, we're not just bench warmers. Put us in the fucking game, coach. And they did great. I'm super impressed. I've been preaching it. I tweeted about it. I retweeted about it. I quote tweeted myself. I said, hey, it's crazy what happens when you utilize more of your bench. Why are you paying these men? Why are they just sitting on the bench, wasting space, wasting oxygen? Put them in the fucking game. Stop relying heavily on a 22-year-old and a 24-year-old and a fucking 35-year-old to make things happen when you have all these other fresh legs that you can throw in. It's 5 minutes here, 2 minutes here, 1 minute here. Make them make a difference in the game. It's a team sport. You can't just rely on 5 people to win a game. I mean, you can, but they're going to be fucking dead and tired. The schedule that they have is grueling. Traveling and all that and playing 3, 4, 5, sometimes games in a week. That's a lot. So you have to rely on your bench. You have them there for a reason. You got to have faith in them. You have to, count on them, and hopefully they come through, and hopefully they impress you and surprise you, and they did that for sure against the Heat. That was, the ultimate stage, the ultimate test so far this season, and they came through. They pulled out with the W. Now they're playing the Mavericks tomorrow. Luka Magic, you get to see him. Are they going to rise to the occasion again? Unfortunately, Jaylen Brown is out. I noticed, when he was leaving in one of the timeouts that he was grabbing his hamstring. I called that it was going to be a hamstring injury. Unfortunately, it was. We're going to, take caution with that. We're going to baby that. We're going to make sure that it is not a lingering injury because we obviously want everyone full strength and healthy as we go towards the end of our season. Obviously, I know it's stupid to think about that 9 games in, but ultimately that is your goal, that we have everybody healthy and happy and working together trying to get into the postseason. So I'm hopeful that they do well against the against the Mavericks, Luka Magic tomorrow. I hope that they can win a game at home because that would be great. A lot of us spend our money, hard-earned money, trying to go to these games and support them and be there for them. And no matter what, I still support you, even if you fucking break my heart and I pay money and you're up by 20 and then you lose the game and I'm like, what the fuck? But, I'd be more happy to be there if you win. But either way, I'll still support my team no matter what. Bleed green. Boston proud, Boston strong. So I didn't think I'd be back here so soon, but a lot of shit happened with the Marcus Smart situation, with the players only meeting, fucking 9 games into the season, what the fuck. And then, the 2-game win streak that we have now, and that really setting the tone and proving a point by beating the Heat was really important. That shows some fight in this team, that shows some resiliency in this team, that shows overcoming adversity that we always like to brag about on this team. So I'm hoping that I see more team chemistry. I see more of them coming together now that they've cleared the air and now that they seem to be more on the same page. Let's hope that that equals success and that we see them playing like the team that we know that they can be. So again, I will hop on here whenever. It'll be super random. Appreciate you guys tuning in. This has been Boston Bannerbound. I'm Bree DiNucci. I will see you guys soon.